Hello and welcome to the meeting to discuss a new station design at Belasco. A message from our Chief Development Officer at the Port Authority, David Huffaker. I'd like to welcome you to our series of online briefings on the Belasco Station. I'm David Huffaker. In these crazy times, we are working very hard to ensure that everyone has an opportunity to stay abreast of what is happening in your neighborhood. We would love to be meeting in person, but until the pandemic is under control, we have found that these online sessions can still be effective in gathering input from the community. We would like to reiterate that this is your community station, and while we might have opinions on what make sense from a safety, operational, or constructability view, it is important that we hear what the community wants. We will listen with an open mind and incorporate what we can into future designs. John and the rest of the Port Authority team are here to take your feedback and hear your concerns. Thank you for taking the time out of your busy day to join us today. Hello, my name is John Bince. I am a senior project engineer at the Port Authority of Allegheny County, and in collaboration with the City of Pittsburgh's Department of City Planning and Department of Mobility and Infrastructure, I'd like to thank you and the public for their interest and input. To give everyone a little background on this project, Belasco is currently a low platform legacy stop. Riders must utilize the low platform doors on the LRV, which require the use of stairs. A neighborhood request was made for an accessible platform on Broadway between Fallowfield and Potomac, bringing our rail and bus riding community close together. For any transit enthusiast out there, we have the potential to make history with this station. Through a vigorous design and elimination process, we have narrowed it down to two alternatives, A and B. We are currently in the design phase and looking to the neighborhood to collect input. This input will assist us in determining what an ideal design and placement is for the riding public. There are many constraints we must consider, including federal, state, and local government codes and regulations. Belasco on Broadway has been identified as the best fit. Belasco and Shiras were both evaluated. However, given the design constraints, Belasco is the most viable location. There are numerous reasons for this, including track geometry and LRV dynamics. The community expressed the need for an accessible platform in the vicinity of Belasco, given the long distance between Fallowfield and Potomac. The goal is to provide this amenity in accordance with all local, state, and federal regulations. The vision of the authority is amplified by projects like this, especially for those who will take advantage. I'll refer to this as Design Concept A. We created this rendering in accordance with the Port Authority station design criteria. As you can see, this is an accessible station complying with all codes and regulations identified in the ADA standards for accessible design. It has a long straight ramp. Some of the proposed amenities include high platform level boarding and eliminating the use of the stairs on the LRV. A shelter. This is our current proposal and standard. However, if there's some simple architecture the community would like to see to tie the station into its surroundings, we would be excited to collaborate on that initiative. An accessible ramp with a bus height boarding platform when rail service has been interrupted. This will easily be facilitated by a swinging gate that will block entrance to the platform while rail service has been interrupted. There will be steps for those that wish to use them or find them more convenient. A ticket vending machine, bench seating, and digital signage indicating real-time system information. As we move on, I'll refer to this as Design Concept B. It is more compact, and the ramp wraps around the platform. This design lessens the overall footprint of the station, reducing the impact on parking. If bike lanes are a consideration, future modifications to the city's infrastructure will be required. From here forward, we will talk about the exact locations where the station could be located. This is an aerial view of the compact Design Concept B flat platform on the outbound side of Belasco in front of St. Catharines. The blue triangle represents the sight distance triangle, indicating how far back from the intersection it must be set to comply with safety standards. As you can see, the platform is set back from the intersection significantly further than the existing platform near the crosswalk. This orientation is not ideal for many reasons, including pedestrian access to the crosswalks in the immediate vicinity of the platform. Design Concept A, the long platform, can also be placed in a similar location. Here is an alternative to previous placements. However, it requires changes that we will need feedback on. If the neighborhood is agreeable to making Belasco a one-way street, and under careful analysis of design standards and codes, we may be able to move the platform closer to its existing location, where the low platform currently is, or to the other side of the intersection, as shown here. In this layout, the church is to the left. The compact design concept B is on the inbound side of Belasco rather than in its existing location on the outbound side. Once again, in this placement, either A or B will work. However, the long platform will reduce parking capacity, most likely losing 2 to 3 parking spots directly in front of several homes that have no access to off-street parking. The major modification required at this placement obviously is making Belasco a one-way street away from Broadway Avenue. I want to emphasize that we cannot place a new platform in the existing location or the displayed location without making Belasco a one-way street. There is no sight distance, which means vehicles will never be able to safely exit Belasco onto Broadway. Without Belasco becoming a one-way street, either the station cannot be built, must be constructed mid-block in front of homes, or it must go directly in front of the church. The current orientation shows the stations in the areas that were previously slip lanes but are now future potential sites for public art. There is little to no impact on parking, and at this point does not appear to be in front of a home or business. This is an additional view of the compact stations on the inbound and outbound side, showing the stations in 3 dimensions. Parking is gained in front of the church, and none is lost on the other side of the street. The outbound platform occupies a portion of the intersection where Belasco continues on paper and is currently occupied only by utilities. The last view here shows the outbound perspective with regards to church access and street parking. I've shown you a few design concepts and placements. We have gone through rigorous analysis up to this point, eliminating options that did not meet guidelines and code. Now we move on to our next steps. Our first goal is to collect input from the public and determine which concept works best. We will then move towards finalizing the design, which we expect to have complete in the spring of 2021. Currently, there is no funding for construction, and unfortunately, we cannot establish a timeline for construction at this point. When construction funding has been secured, we will develop a timeline and reach out to the community to collaborate on construction. I'd like to thank everybody for your time and your input, and we look forward to building this exciting station. Thank you.